Hello and welcome to the English Fluency Game. My name is Daniel and I'm really happy that you're here today. If you are learning English and you want to speak more confidently, more naturally, and without fear, then this episode is the perfect place to start. Today, we are beginning a simple step-by-step journey that will help you build real English, not just memorized phrases. And the best part is, you can follow everything, even if you're a beginner.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. In this series, we are not just going to study English, we are going to use English together. We are going to speak, practice, and build real communication. So if you stay with us until the end of this episode, you will already be able to introduce yourself in English in a clear and confident way.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about how to introduce yourself in English, a simple but powerful topic. Think about it. Every conversation starts with an introduction. Whether you are meeting someone online, joining a class, starting a new job, traveling abroad, or just talking to someone new, you always need to say who you are. And that means if you can introduce yourself clearly, you can start conversations, make friends, and feel more confident speaking English anywhere.
But here's the problem. Most people only learn one sentence. My name is, and they stop there. That's not enough. A real introduction needs more. You should be able to say your name, your country, your job or what you do, your interest, and maybe even your goals. So in this episode, we're going to help you build a complete, real-life introduction step by step, just like native speakers do.
Let's start with the most important part, saying your name in English. There are two common and natural ways to do this, using my name is and I am. For example, my name is Daniel, or I am Daniel. Both of these are correct, and both are used by native speakers. The first one sounds a little more formal, and the second one is more casual and friendly. You can choose either one depending on the situation.
But remember, never start your introduction with just your name. A natural introduction should always begin with a greeting. So instead of only saying, I am Daniel, you should say, Hi, I am Daniel. Or, Hello, my name is Daniel. Or, Hi, I am Daniel, nice to meet you. Short, clear, natural. That's how real introductions start in English.
Now, let's see how this works in a real conversation. We are going to start with a very simple introduction, just like people do when they meet for the first time.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Daniel. What's your name?
I'm Emma. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. This short conversation may look simple, but it already follows a real structure of English communication. First, we begin with a greeting, then we ask a question to start interaction, and finally, we respond politely.
Let's break it down. The question, what's your name, is the most common way to ask someone's name in English. It is short, natural, and friendly. Avoid using sentences like, which is your name? Because that is not correct in English, even though many learners make that mistake.
And look at the final part. After someone says their name, it is very common to respond with, nice to meet you. This is polite and friendly. And if the other person says it first, you can respond with, nice to meet you too. This shows good manners and keeps the conversation positive.
Now repeat the dialogue again, but this time focus on the pronunciation and rhythm of the sentences. English communication flows better when you speak clearly and with short pauses. Listen again. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Daniel. What's your name?
I'm Emma. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Great! If you can say this, You can already start a basic English interaction anywhere. This is the foundation, and from here, we will build step by step until your introduction sounds complete and natural. Now that we can say our name, the next step in a natural introduction is to say where we are from. This is one of the most common questions in any basic conversation because people naturally want to know your background.
There are two very simple and natural ways to ask this question in English, using "Where are you from?" or "Where do you live?" These questions have different meanings. The first one is about your origin, your country, or your hometown. The second one is about where you currently live.
For example, if someone asks you, "Where are you from?" you can answer with, "I am from Brazil. I am from Mexico. I am from India. I am from Japan." If you want, you can also add your city. For example, "I am from Spain, from Madrid. I am from Argentina, from Cordoba. I am from Canada, from Toronto." This makes your answer more complete and personal.
Now let's look at the second question. When someone asks you, "Where do you live?" they are not asking about your origin. They want to know where you are living now. For example, "I live in London. I live in New York. I live in Paris. I live in Berlin." And if you want to add more detail, you can say, "I live in Los Angeles, in California. I live in Rome, in Italy. I live in a small town near Lisbon."
You see how easy it is. Just two simple structures help you answer one of the most common questions in the world. And remember, English is not about using difficult words. It is about communicating clearly. Simple English is powerful English. Now that we understand how to talk about where we are from and where we live, let's see how this works in a real conversation. Just like before, we will keep it simple and natural, the same way people actually speak.
Where are you from?
I am from Canada. And you? Where are you from?
I am from Germany. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. This is the most common and natural exchange of information when people meet for the first time. Notice two important details. First, the question is short and direct. Where are you from? Second, the answer uses a complete sentence. That is important because it helps your English sound more confident and natural.
Now let's see another common variation. Sometimes people want to know where you live now, especially if you move to another country or city. Listen to this example. Where do you live?
I live in Madrid. And you? Where do you live?
I live in Munich.
Excellent. With only these two simple questions, where are you from and where do you live, you can already connect with people around the world and begin a real conversation in English.
Now that we can say our name and where we are from, the next step in a complete introduction is to say your nationality. This is very common in real conversations, especially when you meet people from different countries.
To say your nationality in English, you can use a very simple structure using the phrase "I am" or "I am not." For example, I am Brazilian. I am German. I am Italian. I am Japanese. I am Egyptian. I am South African. These are short sentences, but they communicate clearly. You can use them anytime you want to talk about your nationality or someone else's.
But here is something important to remember. Nationalities in English always begin with a capital letter, even when they are in the middle of a sentence. For example, she is Spanish. He is Canadian. They are Turkish. This is a grammar rule that always applies in English.
Now, let's combine nationality with country. This makes your sentence more complete and sounds much more natural. For example, I am Brazilian. I am from Brazil. I am Turkish. I am from Turkey. I am Indian. I am from India. I am French. I am from France. I am Mexican. I am from Mexico. This structure is also useful when you want to make your introduction more complete without making it difficult.
You can also expand your answer by adding more information after your nationality to make your English sound more fluent. For example, I am Colombian, but I live in Portugal. I am Nigerian, but I live in Canada now. I am Italian, but I live in Australia. I am Russian, but I live in Spain for work. This simple structure is extremely common in real life. Origin plus current situation.
Now let's see how to use nationality in a simple and natural conversation, just like people do in real life.
Where are you from?
I am from Spain. I am Spanish. And you?
I am from Italy. I am Italian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This example shows a very common structure, country plus nationality. This is especially helpful when you are speaking with people from different countries because sometimes they may not know where your country is located, but they will recognize your nationality immediately.
Here is another example. Listen carefully to how we connect origin and current place of residence. Where are you from?
I am from Poland, but I live in Dublin now. And you?
I am from Chile, but I live in Barcelona.
This structure is extremely useful. I am from, followed by, but I live in. With just this pattern, you can communicate a lot of personal information clearly and naturally.
Let's repeat that important structure again so you can remember it. I am from Brazil, but I live in Germany. I am from India, but I live in Canada. I am from Nigeria, but I live in Spain. I am from Japan, but I live in Australia.
Excellent! Now you can talk about your nationality and where you live with confidence. And we are just getting started. Step by step, we are building your full introduction.
Before we continue, it's important to correct some common mistakes that many English learners make when talking about nationality or country. These mistakes are easy to fix, but they can make your English sound strange if you don't pay attention.
The first mistake is using the country instead of the nationality. For example, some students say, I am Spain or I am France. This is incorrect. You cannot say you are a country. You must use nationality. The correct structure is, I am Spanish, not I am Spain. I am French, not I am France. I am Mexican, not I am Mexico. Always remember, for countries, use from. For nationality, use am.
The second mistake is forgetting to use capital letters. In English, nationalities and countries always start with a capital letter. For example, Brazil, not Brazil. German, not German. Japanese, not Japanese. This small detail makes your writing much more professional.
Another common mistake is using articles incorrectly. You should not say, I am a Spanish in a basic introduction. The natural way is simply, I am Spanish. I am Italian. I am Egyptian. No article is needed. Articles may appear in other situations, but not in introductions.
There is also a pronunciation mistake many learners make. Some people say words like Spanish and English with very strong endings, but in natural English, the final sound is softer. It is not Spanish or English. Instead, it is smooth. Spanish, English, Turkish. Feel how the ending is soft, not exaggerated. Finally, never translate nationality directly from your language if it changes by gender. For example, in some languages, people say,
I am Mexicana, or I am Italiano. In English, the nationality does not change by gender. Both men and women say, I am Mexican, I am Italian, I am Brazilian. So keep it simple and consistent.
Correcting these small mistakes will immediately make your English sound more natural and fluent. And remember, speaking correctly is not about being perfect, it is about being clear.
Before we continue building your introduction, it is important to understand something interesting about real communication. Even though English is spoken all around the world, people from different countries don't always introduce themselves the same way. Culture changes the way people speak. For example, in some countries, people are very direct. In places like the United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom, people usually keep introductions short. They say something simple like, Hi, I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm from London. And that is enough. They don't usually ask too many personal questions in the beginning.
But in other cultures, people like to ask more questions and show more friendliness when meeting someone new. In countries like Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, or the Philippines, people normally continue the conversation right away. For example, Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Brazil. What about you? Nice to meet you. Where do you live? Do you like it there? This creates a warmer conversation. It's not rude, it's a cultural way of being friendly.
In some countries in Europe, people may prefer a more formal style when meeting someone for the first time. For example, in Germany or Switzerland, they might include a polite phrase or a handshake and keep the first interaction respectful and serious. In Japan, people often bow and avoid too much personal detail in the beginning.
So what does this mean for you when you speak English? It means that there is no single perfect way to introduce yourself. The important thing is to be polite, clear, and respectful. You can adapt your style depending on who you are speaking to. If the person is more direct, keep it short. If the person is more friendly and open, you can share a little more.
This is why learning English is not just about grammar. It is also about communication and cultural understanding. When you adapt your introduction to the situation, people feel more comfortable speaking with you. And that is exactly what we want. Real connection in English.
Now that we understand how to say our name, where we are from, and our nationality, we need to talk about something very important, sounding natural in English. Many students learn correct sentences, but they still sound like a robot because they speak too mechanically.
For example, listen to this introduction. My name is Daniel. I am from Canada. I am Canadian. I live in Madrid. Nice to meet you. Is it correct? Yes. Does it sound natural? Not really. The sentences are too short and disconnected. It sounds like someone reading a form, not a real person talking.
Now listen to a more natural version. Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Canada, but I live in Madrid now. I'm Canadian, and I really enjoy traveling and meeting new people. Nice to meet you. This sounds more friendly, more human, and closer to how people actually speak. The words are not difficult. The difference is the connection between ideas.
To avoid speaking like a robot, you can use small connectors in your sentences. These are simple words that link ideas together. Some useful connectors are and, but, now, also, because.
Let's see them in action. I am from Mexico, but I live in Chicago now. I am Italian and I am a student. I am from Egypt, but I live in Canada now because of work. I am American and I also speak Spanish. See how these small words make a big difference? Now your introduction flows naturally.
So here's an important rule. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about connecting your ideas. With just simple words, you can sound more confident and more natural, even as a beginner.
Now that we can introduce ourselves and say basic information, it's time to learn something extremely important: how to continue a conversation. Many English learners stop after saying their name and country because they don't know what to say next. That creates an uncomfortable silence and the conversation ends quickly.
To avoid this problem, you must learn simple and safe questions that work in any introduction. These questions do not need advanced grammar. They are easy to memorize and help you keep the conversation alive. Let's start with some of the most common ones.
Here are 4 powerful questions that you can use in any conversation with someone you just met. What do you do? Where do you live? What do you like to do? Why are you learning English? These questions are friendly, natural, and they help you learn more about the other person without being too personal.
Let's understand each one. What do you do is a very common question in English. It does not only mean, what is your job? It can also be used by students or people who do not work yet. Some possible answers are, I am a teacher. I am a student. I work in a hospital. I work in technology. I don't work at the moment. It is simple, polite, and useful in any situation.
The next question is, what do you like to do? This question is great because it opens a friendly conversation. You can answer by talking about your hobbies or interests. I like reading. I like traveling. I like playing games. I like learning languages. I like spending time with my family. This makes your introduction more personal and more interesting.
And here is one of the best questions when talking to someone who is also learning English. Why are you learning English? This question is great because every learner has a different story. It is a perfect way to connect with people. Some common answers are, I am learning English for my career. I need English for travel. I want to study in another country. I like the language. It is important for my future.
These questions are very simple, but they are powerful tools for communication. If you memorize just 3 or 4 questions, you will never run out of things to say in a conversation again. Now, let's put everything together in a real conversation example. This time, we will include not only introductions, but also simple questions to keep the conversation going. Listen carefully to the structure and rhythm.
Hi, I am Emma. What is your name?
Hi, Emma. My name's Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Where are you from?
I am from Canada, but I live in Lisbon now. And you?
I am from Italy.
What do you do?
I am a designer.
What do you like to do in your free time?
I like reading and traveling.
Why are you learning English?
I am learning English because I want to work in another country.
That is interesting. Good luck with your goal. This conversation is simple, but it already looks like a complete, real introduction. Notice how the questions help continue the conversation naturally without any awkward silence.
Also, pay attention to the structure. Every answer is short and clear. We are not using difficult grammar or complex vocabulary. We are only using simple English with good communication. That is the key to fluency.
To make your introduction sound even more natural, you can add small expressions that English speakers use all the time. These expressions are simple, but they make your English sound friendly and confident.
Here are some useful expressions you can include in your introduction. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for asking. That's interesting. Really? I see. That sounds good. Cool. Great. These short responses help you interact during the conversation instead of only answering questions.
Let me show you how these expressions work in real conversation. Compare these two versions. Robot version: I am Daniel. I am from Canada. I am a teacher. I like music. Natural version: Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Canada. Nice to meet you. I'm a teacher, and I also like learning languages. That's interesting, right? The second version sounds much better. It does not use difficult English, but it sounds alive.
Here are some extra expressions you can use to react during a conversation. Really? Oh, nice. That's cool. Wow. Me too. I agree. I understand. No problem. These are short expressions, but they help you build connection and keep the conversation smooth.
Communication is not only about giving information, it is also about reacting and showing interest. When you use these expressions, people feel more comfortable talking to you. They feel that you are listening, and that makes the conversation better.
Now that we learned how to talk about our name, country, nationality, job, and hobbies, it's time to build a complete introduction. This is a simple structure that you can memorize and use anywhere in the world. It works in any situation, and you can easily adapt it.
We will start with the basic introduction model, then show you how to expand it with more details. Here is the basic version. Basic Introduction Template. Hi, I am Daniel. I am from Canada. I live in Lisbon now. I am a teacher. Nice to meet you. This version is correct and clear, but it sounds very simple. Now let's improve it to sound natural and complete.
Listen to this improved version. Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Spain, but I live in Lisbon now. I'm a teacher, and I really enjoy learning new languages. I'm studying English because it is important for my career. Nice to meet you.
This version sounds much better, and it is still easy to understand. Why? Because it follows a simple structure. Here is the formula. Final introduction structure. Greeting, name, country, where you live now, job or what you do, hobby or interest, reason for learning English, optional. Polite closing phrase.
You don't need to use all 8 parts every time, but you can use this structure to organize your introduction. It makes you sound confident, clear, and friendly. Let's look at more examples using this structure. Listen carefully. Hi, I am Sophia. I am from Spain, and I live in Barcelona. I am a nurse, and I love helping people. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I am Omar. I am from Egypt, but I live in Dubai. I work in technology, and I like playing football. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Yuki. I am from Japan. I am a student, and I enjoy reading and learning languages. Nice to meet you.
These examples are simple, but they sound real and natural. That is exactly what we want to build together in this lesson. Real English for real conversations.
Now it is your turn. We are going to build your introduction step by step together. I will say a sentence and you repeat after me. Even if you are alone, speak out loud. Speaking is the fastest way to improve your English. Let's begin with the basics. Repeat after me. Hi, I am. I am giving you time to say your name. Good. Again. Hi, I am. Very good. Now, let's add your country. I am from. One more time. I am from.
Now let's add where you live now. I live in. Again, I live in.
Now let's add your job or what you do. I am a, or you can say, I work in. Repeat again. I am a. I work in.
Now let's add something personal, something you like. This makes your English sound real and human. I like. Again, I like.
Now let's finish with a polite closing. Nice to meet you. Again. Nice to meet you.
Now combined everything. Try to say your full introduction slowly. You already have everything you need. Follow this pattern. Hi, I am. I am from. I live in. I am a. I like. Nice to meet you.
You did it. You just introduced yourself in English. And step by step, we are building your fluency together. This is how real communication begins. Now that you practiced your introduction, it is time to use it. Practice is what makes your English real. So here is your challenge.
Write your introduction in the comments of this video. Use the structure we just learned. You can follow this example. Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Argentina, but I live in Madrid now. I work as a photographer, and I love traveling and meeting new people. Nice to meet you.
You can make it simple or complete. It does not matter. What is important is that you practice. The more you use English, the faster you will improve.
And don't worry about making mistakes. Making mistakes is part of learning. If you write your introduction in the comments, we will read it and help you if necessary. This is a safe place to practice English.
So go to the comments now and write your introduction. Do not skip this step. If you want real progress, you have to use what you learn. Learning is not just watching. Learning is doing. Before we finish, let's do a quick review of everything we learned in this lesson. A good introduction in English follows a simple structure, and now you know how to build it step by step.
First, you learned how to say your name using my name is. I am. Then you learned how to say where you are from using I am from. After that, you learned how to say where you live, now, using I live in.
Then we added your nationality. I am Brazilian. I am Indian. I am Italian. I am Egyptian. After that, we learned how to talk about your job or occupation. I am a student. I am a teacher. I work in business.
We also added personal details to make your introduction more natural. I like music. I enjoy traveling. I love learning languages. Then we learned questions to continue conversations. What do you do? Where do you live? What do you like to do? Why are you learning English?
And finally, we built a full introduction using a natural structure. So today, you didn't just learn phrases. You learned how to start a real conversation in English. Step by step, we are building your fluency together. You did an amazing job today. You didn't just listen. You practiced, repeated, and built your own introduction in English. That is real progress. Fluency is not about learning fast. Fluency is about learning with consistency, one step at a time, just like we are doing here together.
If you enjoyed this lesson and you want to keep improving your English with simple and clear explanations, stay with us in the English Fluency game.
In the next episode, we will continue building your speaking skills, and you will learn how to ask and answer real questions in conversation.
So don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. And if this lesson helped you, leave a like. It helps us reach more people who are also learning English.
And remember, write your introduction in the comments. Use English today, not someday. Speak, practice, make mistakes, improve. That is how you become fluent.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for learning with us. See you in the next episode.
Take care and keep practicing. See you soon.